Welcome. Welcome to New Light Living Podcast. This week, I have a wonderful guest, and her name is Patricia Lindner. And today, we're going to talk about how to know your true potential. And Patricia is an expert and very passionate about this very topic. And we're going to learn a lot about what she does for work and how she got where she is. But before we do that, I would love to welcome you, Patricia, to New Light Living Podcast.
Thank you, Ulrika. Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful for being on your show. I could introduce myself a little bit if you want me to do that.
Please go ahead and introduce yourself. Yes, I want to know more about you.
Okay, I'm Patricia and I am located in Germany. And I call myself, so you just talked about the true potential, and I figured out that the best way to introduce myself is call myself the travel guide to people's souls. Doing something that helps accomplished people, accomplished professionals, but also families figure out and discover their hidden gems inside so that they can rekindle their passion, that they can get to more fulfillment and a blissful life. So that's in short what I do.
Yes, what a great mission you have. Because that's really what we need at this time, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely agree with that, Ulrika.
Yeah. So in your work, helping individuals, and I love that you're taking a broader perspective, also families, groups, like a broader perspective when some change needs to happen. And often it's not just on individual level, and you acknowledge the broader level there. Now, why do you think this is so important in the times we're living in to really find that true potential?
Yeah, so thank you for seeing this, because lots of people say that you have to just address one audience, maybe one sort of group. But I see there are so many people out there who, especially in times of, let's mention the pandemic, they deal with a lot of problems that were there pre-pandemic, but they figured out there is so much going on inside of them. Maybe they are unfulfilled in their jobs. They spent a lot of time at home with their spouse, with their families, and then maybe they figured out there must be something done because there is something wrong, or they feel the void inside. Although they reached everything, they checked all the boxes, they had this amazing career, but they see and they feel this is not it. There is so much more that wants to be awakened inside myself, and there is so much more that I could see in maybe, my kid or my husband or my wife. And so times that tell us and force us to go within oftentimes produce something like this willingness to change something.
Yes. So Patricia, how do you define true potential?
So for me, it is something, being in very easy words, I would say this is the hidden gem and the invisible that people oftentimes can't see because they have been living the life they were said they should live. And so it is something hidden to them, but it is there and they don't know how to access it. And I truly believe that everyone comes into this world with a special gift, a hidden gem, something that is so much needed. And I would say this is the true potential, and not just the things we were told or were just educated to bring into the world, but there is so much more.
Yes, yes. It's like this. So you are the magician coming in to uncover this
Yes.
hidden gem and helping others to do that. That's a very powerful and important work to do. So let's talk a little bit about you, Patricia, and your journey to find your true potential. Give us a little history of your journey and how you got to where you are now.
Yeah, so the first thought that popped in my mind is, so how much time do we have? So, but just again, in short, so the first job that I did was being a teacher and teaching pupils for over 16 years, and then climbing the career ladder and becoming a teacher's trainer for a couple of other years. And I thought, this is my mission and this is my true potential, as I really love this job. But then I figured out, or it was not me, it was my body that figured out that I am meant to stop this work and to go within, because I really suffered from severe pain in my joints and in my body. And I could hardly get up in the mornings, which I did. And I went to work and I was there and I was present and I smiled and I put on this mask that just smiled to all the people. And I thought, this is the job I learned. And I don't want to be someone who changes things. And so my body forced me to just step back and take a break. And within this time, I figured out that there is so much more. There is so much hidden potential that I didn't take care of. And I knew that I was this creative person. I was this intuitive person. And so I started going back to art. And even before, I did all these apprenticeships that had to do with my soul, people's souls, psychology, philosophy, and just development. And so I did it all for myself. And then there was this point where I thought, no, I don't want to go back to school. I want to broaden the horizon and open up to show up and help people all around the world. I just thought, I need the whole world to talk to and to help people really figure out who they are, live their true potential and live their true soul colors, so that they don't have to regret when they are. I always have this picture of people looking back on their lives when they are 90. And then they say, I regret that I didn't do this and that I was not bold, and that I didn't be this courageous person. So I want to help them avoid that they need to regret those things. Yeah, and so this is the short version. And I did so many apprenticeships just for my own development. And now I think, this is a good mixture of my experience and all the teachings and learnings that I can offer to others.
Yes, what an evolution of what you thought you were, because you are a teacher still, but you are so much more to that teacher that you discovered along the way. So what a beautiful blossoming of yourself. I love to hear that. It's such a powerful, empowering story that you're having. Now, if you look back on your journey of development and learning, what is the best thing that has come out of it?
So the best thing is that I started to be more colorful, more of myself, and not feeling guilty, not feeling ashamed, and not being fearful to really express myself and embody who I am. I am drawn so much more to nature, and I guess so much femininity developed because I lived in this masculine world of achieving and being the best in what I did. And so I think there is more of this gratitude, forgiveness, acceptance, surrender, but also being so much more self-confident in who I am without needing others to just acknowledge me. This is no longer important, and this is what turned out over the years. This was not just like within a day. So this was over the years.
Yes, of course. And it's a journey. It's a journey,
Yeah.
but it's so beautiful to hear that here you are in your true potential. You know what that is all about. And now you can share it with others on how to start their own journey. Yeah. So why do you think that more and more people right now, because that it's happening, right? More and more people are trying, and not trying, but they realize that there is more. What is my true potential? Why do you think that is?
Yeah. So what I think, and this is my opinion, looking back at former times, people, especially women, but people in general, they had this given path and they were meant to do something, and they didn't, maybe they felt it, but they didn't give in, or they had no opportunity to work on the self-development. There was dependency, and there was society that told them to be the way they are, or to behave in a certain way. Maybe there was this inner longing, but people didn't do that. And I think nowadays times are changing rapidly, and more people, and I think men and women equally, are realizing that to heal the world, they need to heal themselves first. And so this could be like this domino effect. When, for example, parents heal themselves, they can pass this on to their kids. They can pass this on to a broader community. And so I think healing the world means starting with yourself. And I think people now have the time and also the consciousness to start this journey, or most of the people are already on the journey. That's what I think.
Yes, definitely that sense that there is more, right? I love that when you describe this. There was the sensation that there's more, and why not bring that also out in the energy of communities and our environment, that there is more for us to experience and support each other in for a better experience and more positive experience of life. And also not only the signs that our environment also needs that support, not only from us, but as an exchange between. Such important work. Now, I'd like to tap into your own journey a little bit more in terms of some resources or practices that you found during your journey that supported you and that was most helpful. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Sure. So I mentioned it already. Connecting with nature is one of the things that I rediscovered, because as a kid, I was this outdoor kid, but I discovered it just a couple of years ago that nature is healing to myself. And so just also experiencing the healing potential of herbs. This is what just happened, I think, in the last year. This is what is really a personal thing that happened to me. And then I talked about the creative aspects. So there is one thing that I really appreciate so much, and this is doing soul art, which is not only for artists or people who consider themselves as creatives. So this was such a breakthrough for myself, connecting with my body and expressing myself creatively with this amazing soul artwork, and figuring out the next tangible step for my development without the thinking mind. So this was revolutionary for me, not thinking it, but really feeling it and embodying it and figuring it out and tapping into the body's wisdom. And so there are two more things I would love to mention. A big change for me was discovering human design, which is about the true potential and the hidden potential, the invisible things that you might know about, but you can't really access the potential. And human design, which is a mixture of astrology and the I Ching and Kabbalah and a lot of other things that I guess maybe your people know about human design. So this was a game changer for me to really figure out my hidden potential and my challenges and to really work on these. And a third thing is logosynthesis, and this is an energy psychology tool that helped me get rid of so many old patterns, beliefs, memories. Not that I can't remember things and maybe trauma, but the energy is gone. And maybe, so this sounds a bit like hoo-hoo, it came back to me so that I can use it for the moment and for the future. So I think these are the three main tools I would mention.
Yes, all are very powerful. If we start with, and I love everything you said about nature, and I'm also a student of human design, just to kind of tap into that wisdom of what's already there for us to learn about ourselves. And thirdly, to release those old energy patterns that subconsciously we might maintain, but for what reason, and it might not even be serving us anymore. So to become aware of patterns and habits, like, do I really like doing this anymore? No.
No, and oftentimes it is subconscious. Yeah. And I think it's not needed to re-traumatize a person, but to really magically get rid of what no longer serves us.
Yeah, and sometimes the pure self-awareness around it is a release in itself. So if someone is listening or watching right now and says, oh, I really want to find my true potential, I want to start today. What would you say to that person? What are some of the recommendations on where to start that you'd like to give?
Yeah. So I think the last thing you said just a couple of seconds before it is self-awareness. I would say it is know yourself. Know yourself. Start where you are and be grateful for who you are. So know your starting point and know where you are. This is the first thing I would recommend someone. Just shine the light on who you really are. Then figure out your destination. Where do you want to go to? What is your dream? Dream big. Because if you can dream it, you can do it. And then just see what lies between where you are now and where you want to go. And there are so many amazing tools and ways to go on this soul journey, to go from where you are now. And this is a great place to start because that's who you are. And you can definitely reach this destination that you wish to reach. And you can let go of all the roadblocks and you can overcome them. So so I think it sounds easy. Sometimes it is a long and winding road, but with the right help and the right tools, there is a way to get there.
Yes. Yes. I love that you're bringing up the importance of acknowledging the reality now. Like, where am I? Who am I right now? Even if sometimes it's hard to acknowledge, like, I am not in the best place, but here I am, right? So I love that you bring that up, how important it is to not overlook the current situation or the current awareness about the situation or reality that we live in. And because that's really, without that realization and acknowledgement, it's hard to kind of know where to go next. Mm-hmm. So I love that you're emphasizing that really sit with and get to know ourselves just the way it is now.
Yeah. And as I mentioned in the beginning, when you just welcomed me to the show, I said, I am this travel guide. And I always have this analogy that it is really like a travel. And if you want to go from place A to place B, like this destination, you need to know where you start and where you want to go to. And otherwise you can't travel.
Yes. Yes. That's a great analogy. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if we want to connect with you and anyone who's listening and watching, like, I want to get in touch with Patricia, where would you like people to find you?
Yeah, so Ulrika, if you can post the link where people can hop on a quick connection call, and I would be honored to do a quick human design reading, not an intensive, really couple of hours prepared and couple of hours reading, but just like a 15-minute overview that could give people a nice impression of who they are. Just this quick overview. They could book in. So when you put out my link, there is the option of scheduling a 15-minute chat with me if they are not interested in a human design chart, or they could just log in for a 15-minute human design overview to get their type and their strategy.
Yes, what a great offer, everyone. So I will post that link below in the description box so you can find it if you feel called to reach out to Patricia. Great. I would love to, human design is such a powerful insight tool, which is a great way to start getting to know more about yourself. Now, before we wrap up today's episode, Patricia, I would love to for you to share a little nugget of wisdom with us. And that is, Patricia, what do you live by?
So this is not what I always lived by, but I live by now is you cannot solve a problem with the mind you created it. And this is from Albert Einstein. He was such a wise man. And I think we need to get out of our heads and into our body wisdom and connect with our souls, that we really can live our true potential, because our thinking mind oftentimes is a liar and puts us on the wrong path. And so this is my nugget for everyone.
Thank you for that nugget, Patricia. Thank you, everyone, for listening and viewing this wonderful episode. Thank you so much. And New Light Living podcast will be back soon with another episode. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Patricia. Bye.
Thank you, Ulrika. Bye.